Hello, Froggy here, and today I'll be showing you how to reach the Ghaul Boss Arena in the pyramid ship on the moon. We'll be using an interdimensional res breach from the Pit of Heresy. So naturally you'll need at least one ally to be able to hit the auto-res once you're in position. And I've got Nev here to help out with that. Now we're just going to do the normal climbing out of the start area of the Pit of Heresy. And I have brought a sparrow over to make this part a little bit faster, which Bach has helpfully pushed out of the way. Alrighty then. Anyways, back before we knew the true power of the IRB technique, we did not think that this was going to be possible. But since we know that you don't actually have to set your ghost on any location, it is quite doable once you find a consistent setup. Thanks a lot to jjreptile who helped out with finding that. And to Mad who did the infinite fly to help spot the location. So we're going to be using the hole in this crevice here to do a drop box so that we can avoid having to do a double IRB. There is a death floor, so you want to stay a bit high here. And there is this very convenient edge here that we can use to set up our drop box. So Bach is just going to place a sparrow upside down here. You could also place it yourself and leave and rejoin, or just leave the area. So after about 6 seconds, you're going to want to ride the sparrow, and it does help if you actually finish the prop before you jump off. So, yeah, just going to do that again. And count up about 6 seconds. And there we go. Now we just need to reach our death point for the IRB. To do that, we're going to head kind of the direction I'm facing now, to the left of the Scarlet Keep. So for more specifics, I had someone go there and we mapped out the edge. And it turns out if you go to the left of the Scarlet Keep and above from the point of the Hellmouth, there is a nice little crater that is right within the area, so that's what we're going to go for. Now if you don't have some second screen to see the map, you can kind of see that little harsh line running there. You can kind of use as a landmark, and there's a little bit to like the right of that facing the Hellmouth where there's a bright bit that you can also use to line yourself up. But if possible, I'd recommend using a second monitor to see that location. Now to actually die in midair, it's a lot easier than it was for the Shattered Throne. Just gotta lower your light a bit, and since we can resummon our sparrow, we can easily just shoot that with an explosive. Infinite ammo Fighting Lion works pretty well for that. You just want to be boosting up on your sparrow and then dismount and fire point blank. So with our death point set there, we just need to get to the death to the load without dying again. And for this, I'm just going to be going back through the hole that we came through. If you wanted to, you could have set a spawn point elsewhere outside of the box, for instance on Tanix's ship, and then you would have just had to drop back into the map. But this isn't too bad. Just want to make sure that you're high enough to not accidentally hit the death barrier, because then you'll have to do the flight again. I'm just making sure I've got sufficient height here. And it is a fairly easy sword flight here, and once we're out, we can just jump back above and head back into Sorrow's Harbor, which is not that direction, it's this direction. Kind of easy to get yourself a bit turned around. Also, definitely want to switch your armor back. I could have had a rather unfortunate death there because I failed to do that earlier. So we're just going to do a brief stasis climb here to get to the top and bypass all the little barriers that prevent us from heading to the pyramid ship normally. That here is identical to what I did to get into the Crota Boss Arena, and it will also be handy for getting into the Fanatic Boss Arena as well. I'm just going to jump across here, and then go underneath the walkway area. If you need to, you can in fact step on this circular area. But you can also do this with no sword ammo at all if you want to save it for crossing over to the pyramid ship. Once you're above, there is a very convenient hole to drop back into the map. So, come this way, you can see this nice little opening. Just gonna drop down in and walk the normal way. Just keep to the left and you'll get there soon enough. This was my favorite campaign moment from Shadowkeep. The first viewing of the pyramid ship. And the very ineffective darkness barrier. You just slide straight through it, or sword swing, or really anything that moves you forwards at all will work. And this gap here is the reason that I'm on a Titan for this. Getting across it on other characters can be a bit difficult. You can definitely do it on a Warlock. Don't know how you do it on a Hunter without using a Sparrow as well. And in the dungeon, that's particularly hard. I'm using my super to save on ammo, although that's completely unnecessary. We're also not taking the main hole here. We're dropping down into an intangible portion of the side. So a lot of what you're doing is sword flying without the sword, also known as falling slowly. So the intangible section can be a little tricky to run into. You're kind of looking for the overhang and the floor underneath it. And right around there, you'll just go straight through. Stay clear of the entrance to the right, because it's full of death barriers. You're just going to want to go straight across. If you're not high enough, you'll have to climb up the sloped side. And you can do that with catapult lift or sword swings or anything. It's just a bit annoying because you can't really see the ground there to know what's going on. You want to avoid hitting the load zone here, so we're just going to jump a little bit wide. It's not hard to avoid. If you do accidentally hit the load, I cover how to recover from that in my Crota video. So now we're just going to duck into this little cubby, and then we're going to head for that staircase underneath while hugging the ceiling. And there we go! Now we just need to wait for our ally to drop down into the pit to trigger the auto-res. And we've made it to the boss arena. It's pretty much the only part of that mission that we can go to, even though it's the nightmare form. Here we are where Ghaul would do his little light charge thing. And yeah, it's pretty neat to be able to get here whenever we want and not have to wait for the, what is it, 3-week cycle for Beyond to come up? Anyways, while I was here, I came across an out of the map that was kind of neat. I have vague memories of someone finding this in the campaign version, but, you know, during the Red War, but it's been a long time. So you can duck in here by this track-looking thing. And if you hit it just right, you can go even further, but doing that is a bit hard. You're probably going to hit the death barrier the first couple of times you try. And not really much to land on here, and the death barrier is right below you, but I thought it was kind of neat. Once you have one person out here, it's pretty easy to get the others as well.
Guardian down.
We kind of demonstrated that here with Henry IRBing directly to the top of the highest point. Just gotta get his res here. And now there are 2 of us. Also found this kind of neat. These bubbles are something of a projection, so they take the bullet marks with them. Weird. Anyways, I hope you enjoy getting out here for yourself. It is amazing what's possible with this glitch.